friends, it's Miss Swan again from Pre-K1, and today we're going to take another look at the story If I Built a House by Chris Van Dusen. Now, remember, this was our friend Jack, and Jack was being an architect, which means he was creating designs for his house. And we're going to take another look at this story, and while we're reading it, I want you to focus on what makes Jack's house so unique. He had a lot of different types of rooms, and what makes them so unique from any of the other houses in his neighborhood or community. Boys and girls, take a look at this blueprint that Jack has created for his house. He has drawn a lot of the different rooms that we will see as we go through the story again. I noticed the racetrack room. I noticed part of the kitchen. Oh, I think I see his bedroom as well. And it's very helpful that he put all of these labels to show the different important parts of each room. Jack, in the backyard, said to his mother, "This house is okay, but it's like any other. It's boxy and boring and basically bland. It's nothing at all like the house I have planned." Jack must think his real house is just too plain because he said that it was bland and boring. He's probably thinking, houses where kids live should have cool stuff to do inside of them. When a person designs a house, she or he needs to think about who lives in the house and what the people enjoy doing. My house will be different. It can't be the norm. And remember, being the norm is like being what we usually see. And so he's thinking it can't be the norm in like all the other houses in the neighborhood. I'll think about traffic flow, function, and form. Oh, it may include shapes like a tower or dome, but I'll focus on what makes a building a home. It's the rooms on the inside that make it unique. So step through the door and let's take a peek. While making his design for his new house, Jack has to think about a lot of things. What shape the house will be, what will be inside, how people will get from one room to another, how much space people will need. Jack looks really excited to share the plans of the inside of his house. And I even noticed in his model of his home, he was mentioning that it could have a tower, and I see he's used his frisbee and his Tinker toys to build a tower, and he even said a dome, and I see that he used tape and a cardboard box to create the shape of a dome for his home as well. Let's go inside now. We'll start with the basics right off the bat. Check out my all-in-one kitchen O-Mat. You don't have to cook and you don't have to clean. It's done by a space-age robotic machine. It makes all the meals and the food is delish. Then it washes and puts away every last dish. Jack must be thinking of a plan where machines do things for people and his family so they don't have to do it themselves. Jack probably thinks a house with robots will make it easier for everyone. The machines will be able to prepare the food and clean. The living room's next. It's fun. Come on in. The chairs and the tables and sofa all spin. And trampolines lead to a giant ball pit. It's a pretty neat room, you have to admit. Jack is thinking about a house that would be fun for kids to live in. The house he is designing has a trampoline, a ball pit, and furniture that spins around. Wow, look how he imagines how happy he would be living in a house like this. And that's very important for an architect to do, to think about how the people would feel if they were living in that house. Now look in the bathroom. No shower, no tub. Instead, take a ride on my scrub-a-dub-dub. Just step on the belt and it washes you clean, even the places that you've never seen. I'm thinking Jack doesn't like to take baths. He must be thinking that it would be easy just to step on the moving belt and you automatically get clean and dry. You don't have to do anything but just stand there. That would make things a lot easier. Great idea, Jack. And here is my bedroom, way up in the sky, on top of a tower 200 feet high. With glass all around, just check out the view. A bed in a tower, now that's something new. It looks like Jack wants to create a house that has exciting adventures inside of it. Having a room so high from the ground would be really exciting for Jack to imagine. And like he said, check out the view. And remember, the view is what you can see. So look what he can see from his tall bedroom. I wonder if he really wants this or if he just thinks this would be fun. The rooms we walked through just moments before are the kinds that you'll find in any decor. That means that's what you'll see in every house that we go into. That's the standard or the norm. You see a kitchen, a living room, bedroom, bathrooms. You'll see those, although Jack's looked a little different from what we see in our normal homes. But if I build a house, I'd add a few more. So hop on the slide. It's time to explore. Again, notice how Jack is thinking about having something unique and fun inside his house. He has a slide coming from his room. But now we're going to take a look at some rooms that we don't see in other houses normally. I wonder what they are. You know how I constantly like to create? Well, this is my art room. Isn't it great? You draw on the wall. Don't worry, it's cool. Hung way up high on a big giant spool is a huge roll of paper that hangs to the floor. Just draw till you're done, then pull down some more. Boys and girls, Jack is very creative. He mentioned that he likes to create, which means he likes to draw and design different things. He will make a very good architect when he grows up. Because remember, architects like to draw and design different rooms, houses, and buildings. Next comes my flying room. See how it's tall? It's empty except for a switch on the wall. Just turn off the switch and you'll float off the ground. Then flap like a bird and fly all around. Isn't it nice to be up in the air? A room without gravity? That's pretty rare. And remember, boys and girls, a room without gravity means that there's nothing to hold you down to the ground and that you begin to float up in the air. And look at Jack flying all around this room. Jack must be thinking as he draws out his blueprint or the plan for his house. Wow, it would be so cool to have a room in your house where you can fly. What other house has a room like that? This is my racetrack room. Step right inside. It's less like a room and more like a ride. It features a racetrack that loops all around with super fast go-karts that don't make a sound. You fly and you flip and you zip and you zoom. You have to admit, it's a wonderful room. Oh, and look at Jack's face. He looks like he's having such a great time in this racetrack room. I can tell that Jack is thinking about what kind of house kids would want to live in. I'm noticing in his plans or in his blueprint, he's including rooms for games, he has an art room, he has a flying room, and now a racetrack room where kids could race cars. I wonder if his mother would enjoy all of these rooms. A room filled with water? Now that's something new. But if I built a house, that's just what I'd do. This is my fish tank room. Ain't it a sight? Don't worry, they're friendly. The critters won't bite. Just strap on an air mask to swim with the fishes. Now this is a room that every kid wishes. Every kid, but I also notice that his mom is included in his visualization or the picture that he's creating in his head of the house that he would like to have. And I'm looking at mom's face, and it looks like she's enjoying this room as well. Of course, I've been saving the best room for last. And literally speaking, this room is a blast. So welcome, sit down. I'll seal up the hatches. This plexiglass playroom completely detaches. Remember, if it detaches, that means it separates from the rest of the house. You fly it around. Why, it even has jets. For me, this room is as good as it gets. My house will be nifty, my house will be neat, my house will stand out as the best on the street. Daringly bold, yet exquisitely fine, a must-see example of modern design. My house will be held of refreshingly new. If I build a house, that's just what I do. And look at boys and girls, Jack is sitting here still in front of his blueprint and the model of his house that he has built. And his eyes are closed because he's visualizing all of the neighbors looking at his house and thinking, wow, this is such a unique house. And Jack looks very pleased or happy with the plans that he has to build his new home. And on this last page, boys and girls, I noticed Jack's mom, and it looks like she's looking at Jack's blueprint or the drawings that he has of the house that he would like to have built. I wonder if she's interested in adding some of these rooms to her house. That would be very interesting.
Now that we have finished reading If I Built a House, boys and girls, I want you to discuss with your friends, why did Jack think that his house would stand out from all the other houses in his neighborhood or in his community? Discuss with your friends and maybe think about what would make your house unique if you were the architect.